This is the Long Island Traditionalist, restoring sanity one podcast at a time. So, for my first podcast, I wanted to talk to you today about my Facebook profile. I know for a first podcast it seems odd. Why, Jim, do you want to talk about your Facebook profile? Well, it's very simple, but I need to first give some background. Since 2006, I had a Facebook profile, but it wasn't until 2007 that I actually began to use it. Aside from showing off one's life to others, what else could it be good for? For me, Facebook is essentially a record of a good chunk of my unfolding development concerning things of a profound nature. My tone on Facebook does admittedly come off as one which highlights crisis and conflict, and sadly it tends to be an incomplete picture. Such, of course, is the outcome of a text-based social media outlet. But it still concerns me just how fine is the line in our time between being an alarmist and just being a realist. Likewise, also how fine is that line between being a realist and a pessimist. I wager that for those who call themselves grounded, they will say those lines are getting thinner and more transparent. I don't consider myself an alarmist. Such a one goes waving his arms indiscriminately saying the sky is falling with poorly connected anecdotal evidence. A realist, though, is just that, someone who can grasp the breadth and depth of reality and can come to sound conclusions based on seemingly disparate observations. An alarmist is the extreme of either side of the realist spectrum. Either you have an alarmist who has observations but fails to grasp their nature or essence. He has excessive breadth but no depth, and so becomes superficial. Or you have an alarmist who is so specialized on one aspect of a given topic or issue, but can't grasp its relations to other topics and issues which have their own substantial depth. This person again has excessive depth but really no breadth, and so they become abstracted and esoteric. Ultimately, as a Catholic, I do consider myself an optimist. However, my optimism is oriented by the fact that things will get worse before they get better. Eternal wisdom, incarnate wisdom, made it clear in his beatitude, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted." A profound observation, for it means that if you wish to be happy, you first need to recognize how far you are from it. The recognition of facts is in itself part of the process of uniting us to what makes us truly happy, and such is a truly optimistic sign. So I count myself among the optimistic realists, not only because I want what will truly fulfill my nature, but also give me a happiness which even surpasses it. Such optimistic realism I could only define as someone who can grasp the breadth and depth of reality and can come to sound conclusions based on seemingly disparate observations without becoming discouraged by those conclusions, but rather derive strength from those conclusions. In a word, the optimistic realist acknowledges what is and takes joy in it, despite how much it interrupts what they want. This is why my tone on Facebook is not meant to be of distress and despair to you, my viewers, but rather of motivation and encouragement. This is the Long Island Traditionalist. May the Lord bless us, protect us from all evil, and bring us to everlasting life. Amen.